Hey guys, back at again on another video. Today, I'm going to be doing a comparison video of the original Nintendo Switch versus Nintendo Switch 2. Let's get to a battle, shall we? Anyways, guys, so before we start this video, because if you haven't seen the review, I reviewed the Nintendo Switch 2 video, go click on the link. Link is going to be in the description. Like, if you haven't seen part 1 or part 2, go click on the link in the description. It will show you how I unbox this video. Don't miss out. Anyways, let's get to the review, shall we? So, this model I got, this is my original Nintendo Switch I had since 2019 on Christmas Day. That I had it for a very, very long time. Like, it really needs some better days. And this one I had is on October 3. I got it from Target. And this one is just I got for Christmas. Because I always wanted a Nintendo Switch since when it first came out. Like, I was deadly surprised. Unfortunately, the Joy-Cons are actually the reversible because the original one are no longer working, so we chose to use these ones. Okay, so now let's do comparison of the console in held hand mode, shall we? So guys, unlike the Switch 2 overview trailer that you saw on Nintendo America channel, said that on 7.9 inches, Nintendo Switch 2 has a big, huge screen. This is how it compares to the original Nintendo Switch. And the Nintendo Switch holds to 6.2 inches. And the side remains the same. Like, I'll put it to a view. So I'll be right back. So you see, this is a compares of the for the side basically the same. Now let's go compared to the kickstands. Alright guys, so here's a comparison of the kickstand of Nintendo Switch and the Nintendo Switch 2. So the original kickstand, it was really flimsy. It could fall off really easy. It doesn't hold too much. Like I've seen other YouTubers that the kickstand is really flimsy and it can fall off, and when you're not even careful at all. Like it's really flimsy. And here's a comparison of the Nintendo Switch 2, and yet you could see it has a large, sturdy kickstand, which I'm really a fan of it, and I'm really grateful about it. And I really, really liked it as the logo on it, and the feeling is it. But this one is just plasticky. And the two buttons, the controllers are a little bit small. But on the Switch 2, you saw there's bigger buttons because you can just remove the buttons of the Joy-Cons too. Okay, speaking of Joy-Cons, let's show you of the Joy-Cons, shall we? Alright guys, here's a comparison of the Joy-Cons. So this one is the original Nintendo Switch. And you see the SL buttons and the SL buttons remains the same, but they're smaller. So if you take a look on the Switch 2 Joy-Con, the SL buttons are remaining the same, but they're the larger buttons. A fan of it. Because this Joy-Con, this is a little different like the original, because you can slide it like this. Watch, I'll show you. I just turned it on, so I'll show you the the original Switch sound would sound like. Like, I'll show you. Like, watch. Okay, like this. It makes that click sound like from the logo. And you can click it on like this. Hold on. You can click it like this. You can click the button like this. But then on the Switch 2, the Switch 2 Joy-Cons are attachable like magnets. Anyways, so on the Switch 2 Joy-Cons, on the Joy-Con 2, this one's a little different because you can attach these, but magnetically. Because on the Switch 2 it has a clip-in sound. Like, listen. Like, listen. It has a different sound. Now we'll get to the features. So let me turn it off right now. So there's the minus and the plus that you play when you're playing on different games like Zelda and other stuff you can play. There's the arrow buttons and our screenshots. The X, Y, A, B, and the button swivels. Home button. But on the Switch 2, they added a little feature that on the Switch 1 doesn't have. They added one feature for the Switch 2, which I'll show you. Has the same minus and plus buttons. You really can't really see through the camera. Let me just get to the view. There's the minus button, and there's the arrows button, screenshots. The plus button, it has the letters, and there's the home button. And there's this one cool feature. There has a C button, which is called Game Chat. Watch, I'll show you. We'll get to that. First, let me compare it to the sounds of the home button. Alright, sorry about that. Let's get to the sounds. First, we'll start on the Nintendo Switch. Like, you push the A button, and it has a different sound. Listen. And you see all my games are included. And instead, on the Nintendo Switch 2, like, listen to this. Has different sounds. Now we'll get to the sounds to buttons. This is Nintendo Online. This is news. This is album. This is Game Share. You can use it for the Nintendo Switch or the Nintendo Switch 2. There's controllers. This is virtual game cards. This is system settings. This is sleep mode. Instead, on the Nintendo Switch 2, has different sounds. Like, I'll show you. Nintendo Switch 2 has Nintendo Online, same sound. This is Game Chat that you can use it for your friends when you're playing games on your Switch 2. sounds. So there's different sounds. Now we'll get to account sound effect. Original Nintendo Switch. Now on the Nintendo Switch 2. And you can hear there's different sounds. So let's get to the dock. Let's turn those off. Alright, here's a comparison of the Nintendo Switch and the Nintendo Switch 2 docks. First, we'll compare it to the Switch 1. So this is my original Switch dock. This is a little bigger. It's a little dusty, collecting dust. Yeah, I had it for a very long time. There's some dust everywhere. There's a Nintendo logo, and it can open the back view. There's an AC adapter, USB, HDMI out. Okay, HDMI. Okay. On the Switch 2, of course, it has a different dock, but it has the round piece. But on Switch 1, it has the square, like, rectangle. So this is Nintendo Switch 2 dock. They're a little bit different, because I had it for a while. There's a Nintendo logo. But that back piece opens easier. There's AC adapter, HDMI out. There's the LAN. Okay, I will just. Okay, so that was the Nintendo Switch and the Nintendo Switch 2 docks. Let's compare to the Joy-Con straps. Alright, here's a comparison of the Nintendo Switch wrist straps, and here's the Nintendo Switch 2 straps for the Joy-Con straps. So they're a little bit different because here's the Switch 1. The color is really black, just all plain, all black with black straps and everything. And you can strap the Joy-Cons. Like, I'll show you. Like, you can just attach this like this. And voila. And there's a lock. You can just lock it in. Free. You have your own Joy-Con. Another Switch 1 Joy-Con. Okay, and instead on the Switch 2 one, this one is a little different, and you can see this one, those black pieces. You could use the Switch 2 controllers as a mouse. But on the Switch 1, does not have that feature. Because it doesn't work that way. And it does not have that feature. Like, you could just... See? You can attach it. Okay, there's a comparisons of the Joy-Con to the Joy-Con and the Joy-Con 2 straps. Now let's compare to the Joy-Con grip. Alright, here's the comparison of the Joy-Con grip. This is the original Nintendo Switch Joy-Con grip. And you can see the logo is a little scratched up because I had this for a long time now, when I was 9 years old. Yeah, I had this since 2019, and here's the Switch 2 Joy-Con grip. This has a little coloring. Yep, falls off and has a different sizes. Because the Switch one, you can use the Joy-Cons to slide them, like this. But instead, on the Switch 2 version, you can use it like this. Look. They attach magnetically, like watch. And of course for this, you can use it like the trailer, like this. Like, that's really cool. Now let's compare it to the USB-C cable. Okay, here's a comparison of AC adapter. Switch 1 is a comparison of the box and you can plug in. On the Switch 2, the box is actually detachable, just like you can tablet it on your devices, like a phone or a tablet. Or a tablet I'm holding right now, while I can make videos. As you can see, it can be removable. But I recommend keeping this on because this is brand new. On the Switch 1 is not coming off because it's not removable. It's connected to a wire. Okay, let's compare it to the the plug-in port for the TV. Alright guys, so here's a comparison of the HDMI port where you connect it to the TV. Here's the Switch 1, and you can see this is very old. We had it for a long time. And this is the Nintendo Switch 2 version. This is brand new. HDMI that you hook it up to the TV. I had to keep it focused because I don't forget which one is Switch 2. So they're basically the same thing. So, alright, back to the outro. Well guys, I think I had fun for this video today. So I think it's a lot fun for this comparison. I hope you enjoyed this video about doing a comparison of Nintendo Switch versus Nintendo Switch 2. So, thank you so much for watching, liking, and commenting on this video. It really supports the video on YouTube. If you want to support the journey on this video, all you had to do, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and comment down below, and I'll see you in the next one. I hope you have a nice day, and I hope see you in a next video in the future. Bye!